Hi, this is Vanshika Chauhan and I am working as a legal intern with Lexis & Company, and today I'll be talking about the anti-conversion law. So giving two instances about conversion, very first one being the famous music star A.R. Rahman, who was earlier a Hindu and later changed his religion. Second one being the famous actor Dharmendra, who in order to get married for the second time changed his religion. Now, both of these instances gives rise to two major questions. First one being that if A.R. Rahman belonged to Arunachal Pradesh, then had it been so easy for him to change his religion? Secondly, if Dharmendra accepted Islam as his religion in 1979, would it have been so easy for him in today's times to do so? Coming to anti-conversion law, it does not mean that one cannot change his religion, his or her religion. It supports voluntary conversion. The law only puts a ban on involuntary conversion. The objective of this act was to punish those who coerce someone or force someone to change their religion and prevent someone from changing their religion who wants to voluntarily change his religion. In India, anti-conversion laws existed pre-independence phase also. The princely states introduced the anti-conversion laws, and post-independence also such laws were made, but they did not succeed. So the anti-conversions law earlier were majorly for the Hindu community, so that no Hindu could get converted or change his religion. During the British rule between 1930 and 1940, Hindu princely states, in order to put a ban on conversion, adopted a few laws. These laws were also brought about in order to safeguard the Hindu community or the identity of Hindus amongst the British missionaries. India has majorly 8 states with anti-conversion laws implemented in them, and soon UP is going to be one of them. Now, anti-conversion laws are not applicable all over India because these laws, the lawmaking power on this subject is with the state governments. And central government has currently talked about implementing or supporting and bringing them on a national level. Also, as of now, the state government has the power to implement anti-conversion laws in their own state, and it is not with the central government. Now coming to the disadvantages of the act, people believe that this law targets Christianity because there are allegations that maximum attempts have been made to people to adopt Christianity. Also in 1980s, this law was considered to being against the Muslim community. In the past, many countries have passed freedom of religion bill or anti-conversion bills specifically or especially so that people don't adopt Christianity as their religion. So this law is a threat of being abused by the communal forces. The very first state to implement the anti-conversion law was Orissa in 1967. Having said this, coming to the important instances where anti-conversion law is mentioned, in the case of Rev. Stanislaus versus Madhya Pradesh, the Supreme Court said that Constitution of India confers the fundamental right under Article 25 of freedom of religion, and the citizen is free to propagate any religion of their choice. It also states that propagate religion does not mean you have the right to conversion. It means that you cannot enforce or induce any other person to convert their religion. There should be a valid reason for conversion and it should be voluntary. In the case of Sarla Mudgal versus Union of India, the constitution or the court said that if a person is Hindu and the person, in order to get married twice or more than the first time, accepts Islam as his religion, conversion will not be valid, even though such conversion is first voluntary, second not restricted by anything, and third it is not forced. It will still be invalid because he does not have faith in the religion he is converting into, and it is just to practice polygamy. Besides this, everyone has a right to convert, but not without faith. But you don't have this right where anti-conversion laws are implemented. United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights also stated that religious conversion is a human right, and so anti-conversion law doesn't violate the freedom of religion. Coming to the questions that I asked initially regarding A.R. Rahman, if he could still convert his religion if he was a part of Arunachal Pradesh, yes, he could have done the same and he could have converted because it was a voluntary conversion, and even though Arunachal Pradesh has anti-conversion laws implemented, his conversion was voluntary and so it could be affected. Coming to the second question, which was if Dharmendra could have changed his religion in order to marry for the second time in today's time, no, it would have not been possible because you cannot change your religion just to get married. for the second time, you have to have faith in the religion you are converting to. To the procedure for conversion, you have to go to the court and give a 30 days notice to the DM or collector, who after this 30 days period will either grant the permission for conversion or restrict the conversion.